Morning. Thank you for waking up with Buddy. I have my coffee, I have my water, I have the internet, I have you, sexy human beings. What more can a girl want? Happy Friday. Oh, we're going to have a great day. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's find out what's on the internet. I've been pre-shopping a little bit this morning. I've been searching around, seeing what's up. There's a lot of good stuff out there this morning, so we are just going to dig right in. This is the average male body in 2023. I know if you're watching, this is probably as shocking to you as it is horrifying to me, but it's true. If you look around, this is what you see more often than not. And this goes along with a tweet that I put up this morning about this not being sexy. So when this gets undressed, it looks like a swollen sausage. It looks like encased meat that's going to explode if you don't pierce it in the microwave. Like, it's gross. So if you catch a photo of yourself, or if one of your buddies is looking like that, just know you may be his only hope in getting him off that train. It is so incredibly unhealthy. I mean, I was talking about how unsexy it is. Yes. There's nothing less sexy than when a guy gets undressed and he looks like he's going to explode from lifestyle drinking and partying. He's inflamed to the point like he could explode. Like, literally, it looks like if you just touched him, he would just explode because his skin looks tight. He's red. He's like irritated looking. He's literally inflamed. And it looks like at any moment the dam's going to break and he's going to just explode into a million pieces. That's what that looks like. If you look like that, you're sending signals that say nothing positive about you. Nothing. Not anything. If people suggest that you play Santa at the annual Christmas party, you might have a problem. It's time to hit the gym. I love this Canadian Paintings account so much. I like pretty much everything they put up, whether I would hang it in my house or not. I would not on that one. Sparkling water is dog shit. Here's what's interesting about sparkling water. So, with me being in fitness, I have so many women who go from drinking sodas, tea constantly, sweet tea because we're in the South, lemonade, whatever it is, but not water. So I push water. I tell them not to drink sodas. Well, then inevitably they get their water under control and then they get bored, because women get bored. People get bored. And they start drinking sparkling water because they read the can. It looks like water. It's just water with bubbles. So they start drinking that instead. And then their progress stops. There is some component of sparkling water that definitely impedes weight loss progress. And I don't know what that component is, but I've seen it too consistently not to bring up in this regard. So I think sparkling water is lovely. I like Perrier. I like, what's that other one? Not Topo Chico. I mean, it's fine. But there was another one that has been around for a lifetime. But I think this new generation of sparkling water is definitely dog shit. I agree with Anthony Dream Johnson about that. Let's see. Oh, wow. I also love when there are accounts that focus on curating like videos that have been taken of the past, videos, photographs, particularly when they've kind of been colorized and really like the time has been taken to improve the video. I just find that these fascinating, and this account has a lot of that. So if you guys also like that and enjoy watching like recolorized videos from when movie and film were very young things, then you will enjoy this account. So check them out if you are into that. When your dad has a twin brother. I always think this is funny. That baby gets so confused. She didn't know where to go. That's super cute. Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Doesn't that look gorgeous? I've never been to Portugal. We have a joke. Good morning, CD. I'm glad you're here. We have a joke in my family that we don't travel places. We just move there. And we move a lot of places. It's just what we do. But so anytime that people are traveling somewhere and they always inevitably ask me, oh, have you ever been there? I have to say, I've never lived there, or I have lived there, because we just don't travel. We move. And I'm all for that. I like moving to new places and really digging myself in. Like, I go in full bore and I make myself part of the community, and I meet everyone, and I work so that I can be there and to meet everyone and to get all the friends that I have and really ingrain myself in the culture of the city, or the town. So I always gauge whether I've seen a place by whether I've lived there or not. And I've never lived in Portugal. Me after having a steak, sweet potatoes, and corn on the cob for the third day in a row. Man, is there a more circulated imagery than those from Mad Men in our neck of the woods? I mean, it's just hilarious, especially early in the season. I loved that show, but it definitely kind of spun off a little bit. It was interesting to watch. So good. God, that's a good picture. Girls want you to be successful on the first date. Why else would she show up? And just this morning we were talking about girls who go on first dates just for the sake of the free meal. I've never heard of that beyond like TikTokers in New York City. And I think that that's just for internet clout, essentially. I don't think it has anything to do with the free meal itself. I think it's just, but because they're putting the people who are doing that, the women who are trying to pull that stunt are putting it on the internet. I think it feels like more women do it than they do, because 9 times out of 10, the girl spends quite literally as much time as she's aware of the date. So if you ask her 3 days before the date, she's planning for the date for 3 days. She's planning what she's going to wear. She's making sure her nails look good. She's making sure her hair looks good. Her skin looks good. She's glowy. She's thin. She's, stress-free. She doesn't really do anything at work that day. Like, all of it. Most girls want you to be the very last first date she ever goes on. That's what they want when they're getting ready. They're getting excited about the date with you. They're getting excited to meet up with you and see if you're Mr. Right. I mean, honestly, this is how girls think. So Fort Worth and I were talking about like the kind of fear that's the fear that's being drawn up in men these days, guys, about girls just wanting a date for the sake of a free dinner. I'm sure that's been a thing for as long as dates have existed. You know, girls go out with a guy that they're not 1000% fired up about, but at least they get a free meal out of it, or at least they made their mom happy, or whatever the case may be. But oftentimes it has nothing to do with trying to take advantage of you for a free dinner. Also, if your dating system is drinks instead of a free meal, then not only does she not get the pleasure of that company, and you're going to deter women who are just in it for the freebies. Girls can get free drinks no matter where they go. We can go to bars and never buy a drink. That's not hard. So going out and meeting up with you for the sake of a free drink and to get to know you is absolutely nothing new in their world as far as the drinks go. So you won't feel like you're being taken advantage of if you just have a system of going out for drinks and not dinner. Plus, then if she's a dud, you can bail sooner. Oh my gosh. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. Do you guys remember that? Man, I don't know. They must have run the show when I was a kid, because I remember seeing that and hearing that phrase. I can still hear like the tone of voice that the man uses when he says that line. It was everywhere. Was it everywhere, or is it just my imagination? I need to like look up what Ubu Productions was in charge of, because apparently I watched every single one of their shows, because I heard that all the time. All the time. I will not comply with not going to the gym. Your beta qualities are worthless in today's women. I will say, I'm gonna highlight this one so you guys kind of know where my eyes are. I will say, Rolo is truly like the godfather in this neighborhood. He's not that old, but he's the godfather. Like, he had some unique thoughts. He had some unique things to share. And he's put out some amazing books. The Rational Male is all time a great book. It really is. But also keep in mind, sometimes with his tweets, if you follow him, and this is just where we all kind of come from our own direction, that he has lived a very Las Vegas lifestyle. He's lived a rock star kind of existence. And so his interactions with a lot of women are actually like a different type of woman. It's kind of like sometimes Rolo's posts are very much like the personal trainer who's teaching other personal trainers to do a job, but they no longer are in front of clients. So it's not as fresh of mind. Now, Rolo is out there living a rock star lifestyle. He's out with his band. He's meeting up with girls, all kinds of stuff. You know, he's posted the pictures for clout. I get it. But does the life that he's leading in the pictures look anything like your life? Or does it look anything like your aspirational life? That's what you need to look at when you kind of are gauging and weighing some of the things that are said across Twitter X. Like, across the board, not just him. I think that he's just a good example of someone where sometimes the lifestyle comes through a little bit more than like normal girls, shall we say. Because girls who live in Vegas are not normal girls. Let's just face it. No girl lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, who doesn't have some stuff going on there. Like there's some stuff. And Vegas is a cool city. I love Vegas. I don't have anything against Vegas, but to live there, that's a different echelon of human existence, right? All right. To be a man is to bear the responsibility of all things. I think that's where that book by Jocko Willink, Extreme Ownership, is so phenomenal. And if you haven't read it, I know it's like 6 years old now, I guess, probably. If you haven't read it, I want to encourage you to read it. And it's not because I think that men need to bear the brunt of everything in their worlds. I think that that's a lot to ask. And I think that it's especially a lot to ask in this day and age when it's not the popular norm. So it's really everything is working against you being able to do so. But it does, I think, reset your brain a little bit. This book, this Jocko Willink book, I think it does reset your brain a little bit to remember that when the shit goes down, it is on your shoulders. So you better be ready. What I love about that book also is we all know, we say it a million times, that people learn best in stories. This is a biblical thing, and marketers and storytellers and teachers have used this strategy over a lifetime. But he does an amazing job in that book, Extreme Ownership, of telling stories that illustrate the message, but also being able to draw from real life, from like more relatable stuff. Because not everybody's like this badass, Navy SEAL who's like broken every record and led every win and all of this stuff. Like, I can't relate to that. But when he pulls it back into business, when he pulls it back into home life, when he pulls it back into, real life stuff, it becomes more relatable. And I'm a woman reading it. I thought it was a great book, but you're going to have a different experience, and it's a great read. If you haven't read Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership, I encourage you to do so. To me, it's kind of, I was going to say it's up there with the 48 Laws of Power, but it's less bitter. Does that make sense? I think it's that level of an important book. Now, I'm not a fan of Jocko's podcast because it goes on for decades. It's like every episode is 20 years long. But other than that, I feel like this is true for most people. I love your memes. You must be fun to hang out with. Yeah, 1000%. I really am fun to hang out with, though. But I do love to share memes. They're just funny. I like anything that keeps things light and fun, and not everything has to be so fucking serious. Life is serious enough. We don't need any help. The longest car flight in which the world record was broken. Woo. Oh my gosh. Wow. and it doesn't even wreck. That's pretty impressive. I'm not even a car girl, but that was impressive. That was an impressive thing to watch. That'll get you motivated for the morning, is what I say. And that looks like an old video too. That's pretty impressive. That's the kind of motivational stuff that people need to watch every single day to remember that you are capable of great things, and you can, like, instead of, like, I don't know, watching stuff that brings you down, you know, reading something that feeds your brain, you know, reading the 48 Laws of Power, reading Jab, Jab, Right Hook, reading Extreme Productivity, reading I Like to Read 4-Hour Work Week. Like, there are so many, reading Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership. You know, all of these are great ways to start your day. Videos like this get your engines running. They get you going. And you may not want to jump a car across 82 meters, but what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to accomplish a big goal today? Then you need to get the fires burning to do it. It doesn't just magically happen. Oh, I'm all fired up. I'm wanting to watch Rocky Balboa or something now. This is awesome. All right. I love this Marilyn Monroe account because they find pictures that are so rarely seen. That's very cool. But it's funny. They put these, it's almost like the quotes that they put with the pictures of Marilyn Monroe, they're not necessarily Marilyn Monroe quotes. They're just quotes. And it's kind of likened to the girls, like, taking the selfies down the brassiere, kind of like cleavage look, like the sexy selfie, and then posting it next to a biblical quote. It's like, that doesn't quite match. Just because I carry it all so well doesn't mean it's not heavy. That's a girl thing to say. This is definitely a girl run account. All right. This Internet Hall of Fame always has good stuff. Let's see. Can someone with a black suit and an umbrella watch my funeral from a distance so my family think I had something big going on in my life? That's pretty good. I actually like that. Oh my gosh. Sending positive message to the environment. Aluminum can be recycled endlessly. All right, let's see. Let her see you being looked up by other men. She wants looked up to. That makes a lot more sense than what I was reading. She wants a firm, experienced leader. Yes. So this is why, like, especially during COVID, when everyone was kind of stuck at home together, right? And women could overhear their husbands doing business. Sometimes it was a huge turn off. Make no mistake. Sometimes it was a huge turn on. So in some situations, she got to see him in action. She got to see him leading teams, coming down on people, correcting people, and that was very sexy. There are women who are like, whoo, hot under the collar, because he's correcting someone, he's, leading a charge, he's getting the troops, motivated, all of it. Whenever a man is the one in charge, whenever he's the one up in front of the room, whenever he is the one leading the team, and a woman sees it, that draws her attention. There can be a man, who is the speaker in front of a huge group, and everyone is captivated by the words that he's saying, and they're just locked in on him for as long as he's up there. Hour and a half, 3 hours, 4 days, whatever this is. If it's a seminar, if it's a concert, if he's a rock star, if he's a motivational speaker, if he's a business leader, the man up on stage captivates eyes. A woman who sees it is going to be turned on by that. He does not have to be attractive for this to be the phenomenon. This is a very real thing. That same man sitting in the audience watching another man has the opposite effect. Just remember that. There are times to be the student, and there are a lot of times to be the leader and the man in front that all other men are looking up to. So if as much as you can establish yourself as the leader, the more pussy you'll get, number one. The more options you have, number two. And being the leader of men is what you were born to do. It's what you were specifically built for. So I'd like to encourage you to reach a place in your life, to make it one of your life's missions, life's goals, to have other men looking up to you. I think it's an important thing to do. And it wets pussies as well. It's a win-win. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's see. I'm gonna see what this is. You find women of low quality in areas of promiscuity and women of high quality in places that emphasize learning. I think that this is a little bit off. I think this is a little bit off because this would indicate that even though universities are very highly overrun by the more liberal feminist kind of slant, who are not going to value being a human of high quality. They're going to value doing what they want and creating their own path, which also often leads to promiscuity and being a lower quality human, except in their own brains. I think that this is a little bit mixed up. Now, I will say this one, the future mother of your children is not partying half naked and twerking to some strangers. Top tier women only chill at top tier venues. I think that that's a good way to put it. I think this is a much better, this is where digging into the comments, digging into how other people are responding to an original post goes a long way. Fort Worth teaches me to like this a lot. I think because the writings of Royacy in the Chateau HEARTISTE blog, the old school blog, so many of the powerful writers and leaders in our space literally came from commenting on the Royacy posts that trains people to then dig a little bit deeper. And as a man, you need to be not taking things at surface value, but digging deeper. Dig into the comments, get in there and converse. Twitter, X, is a conversation. It's a constant conversation that's going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you getting in on the conversation will only expand, I would say, your learning and your sharpness. Iron sharpens iron, right? So we need to always be sharpening ourselves and one another. And this is a great way to do it. Let's end with eye fucking. This is pretty good. Eye fuck. When a girl looks at you in a sexual, almost predatory way, as if she's undressing her with her eyes. It's the ultimate IOI. 1000%. If she's looking at you like this, and oftentimes she's not necessarily looking at you like that when you are aware of it. So, your guys will say something, your girlfriends will say something. Girls will look at men that they are attracted to like he's the only man in the room, the only one. Like she could devour him, just like this is saying. My yeah, I fuck is it's a great phrase. CD says that this is the phrase he uses. Fort Worth's best friend calls it the look of love. You know, and that's very much what it is. You know, when you see this, you know it. But you need to be aware of what you're looking for. If you see this and it's a girl that you don't like, you might want to run for the hills because she's coming after you. For lack of a better way to put it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Thank you for waking up with Bunny Mondays through Saturdays at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time for all the days that you're able to tune in live. I love it. I love all the conversation that goes on in the chats. Thank you for loving my content and valuing my opinion. I value your eyes and attention, and I try to bring you as much quality content as I possibly can because I want you to win in all things. Now, go to the gym, go lift heavy things, have some hot sex, and accomplish something. Go be productive. And if you need to go watch that car like jumping, setting a world record and jumping 82 meters to do it, you do it. I want you to win.